Yeah. Yeah. Sip the juice. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Welcome to the Sip the Juice podcast with your host Mag in the building. I got a special guest this week in the building. My man P Knocker.
What's good?
No doubt, formerly the council. You see, it's a somber mood this weekend since the death of Nipsey Hussle. Again, rest in peace. I got my brother in the building, Lifer. Say what's good, my brother.
Peace to the planet, peace to the gods and earths.
No doubt, no doubt. I got my co-host P Pep in the building. What's good, my brother?
What's good? Sip the juice.
No doubt. And I got the producer of the show, the cameraman, the man behind the Session TV. You can catch Sip the Juice podcast on the Session TV on YouTube. Go share, like, subscribe, as he said. My man Doggy Dog. What's good, brother?
Ain't none. We here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen. It is what it is. This week was what it was, man.
Terrible,
here.
Bro.
And I mean, we gonna talk about it, man.
Yeah, man. The floor is open. We gonna discuss Nipsey Hussle, his life, his music, his work in the community, the impact his death will have on the community, the world, specifically LA. We gonna also talk about the Marathon clothing store, the fact that he owned all his masters, the children he leave behind, and the senseless death.
Right.
Another senseless death, whether it was a homie, government conspiracy, no matter what it was, at the end of the day, it really don't, to me, at the end of the day, if my brother get killed, it don't matter how he got killed. The fact is he gone. All right, we solved the crime. It is a government conspiracy. It don't matter. It ain't gonna bring him, for everybody else it'll be good. For me, it ain't gonna bring him back. And the floor is open just to discuss the life of Nipsey Hussle, what he meant to you, if you listen, because not everybody listen to his music, you know, and to be real, I'll tell you the truth, I would listen to his music when I would hear it on the radio. I wouldn't turn, I would listen, Nip, when I see his video, you know what I mean, it pull up, but he wasn't one of the artists where I would go to, but I don't stream a lot myself just so I can put that out there, you know what I mean, because I see it's a lot of love going on the gram and Facebook, as it should be.
Yes, sir.
But you know, sometimes, you know, people always be like, sometimes it's not genuine. At this point in time, though, like I'm looking at life, see the smile. At this, because you know how people is, but at this point in time, it ain't even important.
Followers, you know what I'm saying?
But at least in this point, they following something that's positive.
Indeed.
Well, in his death, you see a lot of things that a lot of people didn't know that just came to light.
Right.
You know, that he was involved in, that he had his hands in, and when you see that, whether you're a fan or not, whether you listen to the music or not,
respect it.
If you you know, have any kind of ethics, you know what I mean, as far as you know, and if you care about, you know, what happens in your community at all.
That's right.
You're gonna respect what that man was doing, because
for his
like,
community.
yeah, you know. And
as far as me, it's like with Nipsey Hussle, it's all a free game he was giving out. Like, back at his interviews, I'm like, no other rappers is talking like this. No other.
Right.
It's the free game. I was like, wow, this dude was really trying to put cats on.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
They say the game is sold, not told, but he definitely was giving it away, man.
Giving back.
And that's what it is. You check his interviews and things like that. He always spoke on it. He always said things, you know what I mean, that brought light to how to be an entrepreneur, and you know, ownership and being out there. And look at him, he owned his own masters. Everything he did
in your community.
You know what I mean? And he went out, and as we come to find out, everybody kind of was thinking and assuming he just had that portion of the Marathon that store. Come to find out, he had that whole lot. That whole lot.
Everything.
You know,
you know what was ill? It's also coming from an ignorant standpoint. Like I'm ignorant, and I'm not saying I'm ignorant to the point where I'm being ignorant. Is just I didn't have the information as far as is concerned. So I got the information today. Matter of fact, like, he was a good dude. He was giving back. You know what I'm saying? Something that we try to do in the community. He's been doing that. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it was so impactful.
That was, you know what I'm saying, in the streets, coming from the streets and doing for the streets. You know what I'm saying? He never left. You know what I mean? Get that money and then leave the streets alone. So, you know what I mean? For me personally, I want to give my rest in peace shout out to Nipsey.
No doubt. And that's from everybody here at the Sip the Juice podcast, Session TV. Everybody salute that man. But even asking you that's another thing. You get the money, right? And we all after that. You get the money, and we all from the hood per se, right? You get the money.
Right.
Do you try to see? It's a difference between trying to build something in your hood and still hanging out there.
Right.
It's a difference because you can build something in your hood, but the influence comes also from you being around, from them being able to see you, touch you, call you. What's good, my dude? You know, just that influence.
Definitely.
What do you think as far as that balance that you have to keep?
Well, it is a balance. Listen, nobody. It's not like you could have went to that store, that lot on a random day and just see Nip standing there. You know what I mean? Right, it was a purpose that he was there for. You know what I mean? So divine obviously purpose. The man was into all kinds of things. So he was busy. He's not going to be there all the time. But he was welcoming. He was welcoming one of his brothers home from prison, from what I understand. And that he had a whole welcome home package for the man, you know what I'm saying?
Oh God!
And then stuff like that, he was just, that's what he was doing there. So, he's in his neighborhood, you know what I mean? He owned property there. He was about to build a residential building in that space, as well. So he was active, you know what I mean? But to say, I wouldn't say that like, oh, he's always there, but he's there, visible enough. But that's the thing, man. That's what you want to help the community that you came up in, you care about, you love, you want to make it better. You see the potential, you have hope for it,
right?
And it only takes one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it only takes one.
Because at the end of the day, while all your homies, right? And let's be real, we all got families, right? I'm talking about the families, dog. I'm not even talking about the homies. But we all got families, and then we all got our homies. The homies gonna be like, damn. He was still coming around the way he was doing what he was supposed to do. He was repping like he was supposed to. But the family's the one that's gonna be like, damn, no. He done did all he needed to do for the hood. He was good. We was over here. He was supposed to be over here with us. We done made it. We done got away with it. That's why we don't be over there. And both sides are right to an extent. That's why I'm asking, what's the balance?
But
like,
see, me personally,
to each his own.
When growing up for me, I couldn't wait to get out the hood. So like, my battle was to do what I need to do to make it out the hood. You know what I mean? Like,
you felt obligated to your family.
Yeah, I didn't even have a family yet. It's just I knew that the hood wasn't for me.
See, right.
You know what I'm saying? So I gotta, like, from learning his history today, I learned his history today and saying to myself, like, damn, I might be a walking contradiction because
speak on it.
He wanted to do for his hood more so than leave the hood. Like, he got the money and he could have left and did what he wanted to do, but he always went back. He built a reality in his hood to the point where he gave his homies a platform to be better and be greater. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up losing his life
over that.
Over something that he built. You know what I mean? Because he owned that whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He died in his real estate. Something that he built with his own money, with his, how they say, with my 2 bare hands. You know what I mean? So you gotta respect that man for that, because
and most, like you're saying,
like to leave that.
Most dudes do leave and invest in other places and go over places and build in other communities. He did, come back to his community and build in his community and do what a lot of us supposed to do when we make a come up and do, and prosper and come up, because he gave jobs to people that was coming home from the penitentiary, in the community. That was real.
That's the reason, and not to cut you, my brother. That's the reason why they didn't have security they didn't have firearms with the dudes in the stores, because they don't have permits to carry the guns.
And that's
but he knew that. Homie knew that.
Oh yeah, he knew that. But I mean, I'm just saying, it's a random day. He pulling up. He in his hood. It's nothing wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? It like you said, it was meant.
Man,
it's politics too. Also, it's politics.
Well, yeah.
It's politics also behind that.
Politics maybe to the point of the security option of it, of being more secure. Like you would say, there should be maybe they should be able to have because you go in McDonald's some places in Brooklyn,
they got security.
Yeah, well, there's a couple dudes. Right. There's the reality of it. There's the reality of it, and then there's the idealism of it. Right. So ideally, you shouldn't have to have armed security in your own hood, especially
ideally.
You know, ideally, especially
on the block.
Right, when that and is your block. Number one is your block. Number two, like that's where you're out there with your, you know, you're set. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't think that, you know what I'm saying, you should be, but that's not the realistic,
now,
you know,
and that
fact of the matter.
And then in that instance, do now we sometimes you know what I mean, because I've got, you know, you'll see them in the malls and stuff. You be like, yo, why they around? When you see like the police patrolling the areas and stuff like that, even in little malls, whereas you can go to a place where the mall ain't as big as like a you know, a Roosevelt Field or whatever. Like, look at King's Plaza. You can go there. That mall ain't big, but you can go in the parking lot area and you're gonna see a security guy out there. He patrolling the area. You know, so those things, you know, maybe that deter people also. You know, when they know that's there also, that, you know, I'm not even gonna bring that there, even if I do have that disagreement with this person near. You know what? The options of that being there is greater, even though I may came up on him and seen that the security was lacking at this point, and it's that there. But you know that somebody else is out there. So once you do something, you know it's time to run.
Though. There's always options, because at the end of the day, we dealing with and I hate to say the word, you know what I mean, but it's a gang mentality. You know what I'm saying? We're in the streets. You know what I'm saying? We did dirt. Niggas did dirt.
So you know.
Dirt. So you always got to be on point. Anytime you're not on point, any type of reason,
that's
you're
real.
dealing with the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always got to be to a certain type of standard in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you preaching the gospel in a sense, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that homie was wrong for whatever he did, for getting assassinated and all that. All I'm saying that, damn, son, like, somebody should have been there just to be on point.
Just for me, it was just they should have just had security. Just for me.
Yeah, just to hold him
No,
down.
not security. No, not even just for him.
Yeah.
I'm talking about on the lot, even not for his store. Just, you know how you have a security, 2 at this store, 2 at there's somebody on the lot. You know what I mean? Not just for his store, just period on the lot.
It's real life. At the end of the day, people are dying in these streets.
And you in LA.
But like he's saying, now that's when you probably get into the political part of aspect of it. Now, they know they may have tried to get someone to get an armed guard there, but now that armed guard saying, you know what, no, because where you're going at, nah, we don't want no guns in that area. Bad enough, that's who's affiliated with it, who's owner of it. So you know what? Just put cameras up. Just put this up. That's what, you know what I mean?
You gotta have hammers there.
But
that's
cameras there, hammers
there.
And also,
you know what I'm saying? If you bang, you gotta be slanging.
And also, like, when you look back on the origins of Bloods, Crips, and gangs, it was to protect the neighborhood.
Indeed.
So,
that's long gone though.
That's a good
point.
That's
long gone.
You know, that just show you how far away things can transition from the origin of things.
And let me transition to something else real quick.
He was a good dude,
what impact do you think his death will have on the gangs in LA? Because they were marching together.
From what I see, it's a good impact.
But do we think it will last?
I hope it will. I hope it'll be long term, but you never know. I mean, like, these types of things have happened before. Right. It's never had this kind of feeling to it. So it's just
Tupac type of feel.
This is different.
I think it's more personal than when Tuki did what he did in '92 when he brought the troops. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you know what I mean? It might be more powerful than what Tuki did, because Tuki said, "Yo, we got to come together and stop all the gang banging," because that's what gang banging was. Right. So I seen Bloods and Crips, you know what I'm saying, putting their flags together, and so that might be a good look.
And this when you say this is why people like Tuki, he was important, because there had to be someone before him to make the president of saying, you know what, I need to make a change too, and it's not foreign for it to have been done, because look, he did it. He was trying to do it in the streets, but then he got locked up. Then he was doing it in the penitentiary to the point where he's got Nobel Peace Prizes and everything. You know what I mean? So he was, you know, he wrote books, kids books. You know, Tuki. You know what I mean? He did his one. He was doing his one too, even after when he was incarcerated. So when you look and you see that, then as him being the cat in that LA, you know, that gang world, he's seen that.
And
you know what?
Too. He was a founder.
Let me adopt that, and I can make a change too. And you know, Yeah, somebody did before, but now I'm doing it now. I'm making a real difference because I'm owning this stuff out here, and I'm still out here to make the difference out here for the people.
Plus, Nipsey, he could reach people through music, which Tuki couldn't.
Right.
And also his actions through music, because the relations were already getting better because of certain things, like Nip was reaching YG. You had him doing records with YG, like you had him doing records with Game, you had him doing records with so
Bloods.
Right. So he was already he was already extending the olive branch, and it was already well accepted. Yeah. So I'm kind of it's bittersweet because in his death you're gonna see a lot of change, but we're not going to.
We can't say
we're
that.
going to. We're missing out on the change that we would have saw if he would have still been here, because
he was the one that was paired.
And as his fame, as his stock rose, which it was now being a Grammy nominated artist, and and everything that was starting to come out about him, his power would have been far-reaching had he still been here to carry on what he was doing as he climbed the ladder.
But I think that's what we're here for, because the one thing with Nipsey that was great was that the stuff he was doing. Not saying anyone can do, but it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, from where he came from. He came from where the dirt from. LA, we come from New York, but we all come from that type of environment. So we understand that. That's why we respect it so much, and I think that's why it bothers us. But the one thing I will say is that I feel like for us as a people, we can, in depth sometimes, like I say, reach new heights. Sometimes things happen for us to come together. For us, it's such a blow. Like if you saw the memorial, 20,000 people. Snoop Dogg gave a great eulogy. Lauren London, great eulogy.
Always got to be someone.
That things happen. And at the end of the day, it's all about the blueprint. And the beautiful thing about it is, sometimes a lot of dudes talk. He was giving you game, right? And information, right? In the interviews.
He was giving you science.
But he wasn't telling you everything he was doing. So in his death, now what comes out is all the other stuff he's doing. That you like, wow.
At the end of
early
the day,
investing in blockchain, and
he was giving you the breadcrumbs to lead you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
giving you a path.
Now it's on you to follow those breadcrumbs.
And it's other rappers out there that's doing that. Let's give credit to those that's out there doing that too. But
I ain't gonna lie. I listened to Nipsey the first time today, and he inspired me.
Yeah, that's what's up.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up. It's a blessing.
No music from Nipsey. See
there's other rappers out there. There's other rappers out there that's doing it like that. But to see, the thing is, it's like, I guess it was different from him because he was still there.
Yeah.
And that LA.
He was, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, like, let's be real.
It's that LA. It's that LA.
A lot of us,
it's that LA.
Even if we go and we make something, most like a lot of New York rappers, whatever, when they make it and they do something, the first thing they gonna do is open up a store in New Jersey. Go open up a store
for the most part.
Somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
For the most part.
A lot of times they won't really invest, okay, let me buy this spot right here in Brooklyn or right here and open up.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just starting to hear that with the Angelees and them when they bought
Styles P.
The Styles P. They got the
business. It's different though.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But now you want to see a person because if you look around, there has been a lot of those little shopping centers like he have invested in out here. There's a lot of them being open in New York City. People are making little slots, little shopping centers. You right? You know,
he did what he the stuff that he did that was impressive. It's not even about it's the fact that he made a clothing store with the idea in mind that we gonna scan. When we scan this shit right here, it's gonna be like a sale for our joint. Yeah, so he connected the music to the joint. Not only that, he did a Vector 90 made it for a store. I'm gonna give you a creative space.
Right.
A Vector 90 for stem cells.
Right.
Something that affect. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a little deeper than just stores. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing about him. I'll give him.
Thinking outside of the box.
He was looking at the youth there, and he was like, yeah, man, you guys, if you guys had access to these programs and you know,
because we need them.
Yeah, you could be in Silicon Silicon Valley too.
Just like
you know. So
that's what he was trying to show.
So you know,
I actually been to a Nipsey concert. My boy Los from the Bay Area, and when he performed, it's like he commanded the stage. Like I didn't know no song, but I fed off his words. I was like, yo, this dude is real powerful.
Right. That's how I felt today, son. That's how I felt today.
Well, the more and more that you learn about Nipsey, the more you realize that we lost a spiritual warrior. You know what I mean? We lost one of our spiritual warriors. And when you listen to his mom speak, you see where it came from. You know what I mean? You see why Nip was the way he was, because his mother is very strong.
That was
spirit,
angelic.
You know what I mean?
That was angelic.
You know, she touched on some really great points, and
that was angelic.
You know, the main thing that she said that really touched me was like, you know, stop looking stop looking to the sky for God. You know, God is within
you. Yeah, that was
God,
deep.
Yeah, God is within.
That was deep, yeah.
Right? So
that was deep.
You know,
yeah.
and if it's so that statement is real. Like if I look at you as if God dwells in you,
right,
then I'm gonna respect you
for that.
That, and you know, as if I will respect God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
same with myself. I will respect myself as if I respect God, because God dwells within me. And that's you know, there's no truer statement.
That would make you raise your standards.
I just want to touch on that real quick, because I didn't see the memorial, but what bro just said, just like I got my pause just raised, because the realization of God is basically the reality of who you are. You know what I'm saying? When you look at yourself in the mirror, that is a reflection of who you are. There's nobody above you. There's nobody on the left shoulder, nobody on the right shoulder. Who you are is who you gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So whoever you see yourself as, that's God. You know what I mean? Because you God to yourself. Nobody can rule over you. That's why Nipsey, me personally, from being and sitting here and watching him and listening to his music, I realized that was the God. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that from a father.
Nah, it's all good.
Perspective. I'm like, damn, and then
it's all good.
Bro, you just hit me with that.
Nah. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the whole thing with Nipsey, you know, and I hope, you know, and we'll sum it up like this. I hope that we get an understanding of, like, everybody, you saying within yourself, everybody has something in them. You understand what I'm saying? And you just have to find your role. You know what I'm saying? You have to find your role. And most importantly, it's not about just finding it. You got to be happy with it. Because if you're not, that's where what happens in the street, dog. The envy, the jealousy.
But see, that's the thing. It's a whole bunch of scenarios, a reason why he passed and stuff.
I'm not even just talking about.
You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't call it. You never. Look at this situation he did. He wasn't beefing with nobody. He wasn't out there saying, "Yo, f this dude" or this, that, and third. That's why when I say why, a lot of reason why a lot of people are attracted to him, because look at a lot of people that did pass away in this period of time. You know, like I mean, RLPC, XX, that was the XXXTentacion cat.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? You see the response he got behind this. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. RIP to him and stuff. But it's just like the respect and the legacy you really leave behind really shows when you really everybody don't even deal with you. Like so you don't even deal with him. You ain't even really was in his circle on his music. And that's what made him popping. But you respect it because
what he did, his deeds.
The movement though.
His interviews and the way he was.
But check this out. A lot of people also didn't even respect him because of that. They respect him because of the energy. That's why people understand. Energy's big.
Of course.
Because you don't even have to see him talk or nothing. But when this passed, a lot of people, you just felt
something.
Like, yo, something wrong just happened. This ain't,
And let me touch on that real quick, and this will be the last thing before we segue into the next segment. Not just the gang culture, but the fact that a person who's doing this thing for the black community, let's put that out there first, could be murdered by somebody, and we ain't gonna say, but they said his people's whatever, jealousy, envy, hate, and a lot of times it ain't even gotta be beef, dog. It's just, you know how it is, you doing your thing, why that nigga doing his thing, how he getting what he doing, I'm nicer than him, I'm flying than him, I'm this, And to actually go back, because the part that really got me is when they said he shot him and went back and kicked him in the head.
Yeah.
Like, that's some other dumb shit right there.
He shot him
Excuse my language.
before he kicked him in the head, though.
Yeah, but that's
he actually came around twice because he shot him. And
that's
then,
some other stuff.
And then from what they said, Nip said, "All right, you got me, I'm good," and that made him come back around and shoot him again.
You know what I mean? Like, that was.
And then he left, and then he came back around and kicked him.
Yeah,
Then he came back around again and
at
kicked
the end
him.
of the
That's
day,
crazy.
We gotta remember, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
crazy.
We gotta take the fluff out of the reality of what's going on. Like, whatever homie was dealing with, to come and not even approach him to the point where he looked him in his face. He walked up on him and gave him something, and then he fell. You know what I'm saying? That was personal. And then he come back again and give it to him again.
Nah, they,
Well, you never know, bro. You never.
They said some words was
FM, man. We ain't
exchanged and
even
all
know,
that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
It ain't. Yeah.
but that's where even if it was personal, but that's when you see the whole reaction of everything.
Yeah.
It just bothers me to the point where as that went down, and like we say, nothing happened because it was too much time in between time.
To the dude.
The first time, like when you said, when he did the first time, you seen Nipsey get up and say what he said, and then
he tried to get up.
Dude runs off and gather right there, then come back. In that time period, nothing
came
happens.
out. That's what I'm talking about with security, something.
Nobody look out the window and try to scare the guy away or nothing. So everybody hears shots and they just knowing that your money is out there, knowing that the person that's feeding everything that's going on is out there. You're not going to take a look and see what's going on. That's what bugs me. And then he goes back and then he goes back and do it, then disappear, then come back. And then come on,
but
man.
You know what? It ain't.
But no. If you watch the video, this was bad about the whole situation. That's why a lot of things is questionable. Is if you see what you call it, your man, the cowboy. If you see the actions afterwards,
it's suspect.
He came out right after homie disappears. Right. It wasn't too much seconds after homie started running off. Where you was at in between them other times?
Said he put his burger up. We gonna leave it at that. And speaking of burgers, we gonna start the next segment off talking about the DrSebi, the documentary that Nipsey was trying to do. We gonna speak about DrSebi. We got an alkaline vegan in the building. My brother P Knocker gonna educate us. We got some sea moss right there on the corner of the table. You see the sea moss in the building and the bladder rack. You know what I mean?
Bladder rack, sea moss mix.
See the sea moss and bladder rack, and he gonna put y'all up on some little recipes. Talk about the food. We're gonna talk about the food and how it's killing us and how it's related to different diseases, and just talking about some more good stuff. We in the building. We got Lifer. We got my man PEP. We got Darky Dark in the building. We got P Knocker, MAG, Live Rec Room Studios. My man Edomatic, Big L. Right back, more of the Sip the Juice podcast. Chill. Sip the juice. Yeah. Sip the juice. Yeah. Yeah. And welcome back to the Sip the Juice podcast, segment number 2. We're going to talk about the life and times of the great DrSebi, a summary of his life, philosophy, his trial, legacy he left, and the documentary that was being produced by the late, great Nipsey Hussle, who we hope that continues on. We hope somebody will pick up the mantle because it wasn't completed, it wasn't finished. Indeed.
Nick Cannon said he was.
Oh, Nick Cannon said he was going.
Nick Cannon's picking up the mantle. That's what he said.
So okay, do we know about any other names?
Nah,
that's all you need right
there. Okay. Look, Doc, I'm hoping. I'm hoping because I feel like that's a very important thing that he was doing, the trial, focusing on the trial. I think the reason that's important because it's going to spotlight the fact that he cured patients with AIDS, syphilis, lupus,
herpes,
cancer, herpes, just a bunch of different things, and it's gonna make people dive into it and delve into what they're trying to do as far as with a documentary and putting it together. The funny thing about it, we was talking in another segment about Nipsey Hussle, is that the government conspiracy and the different reasons of why he may be killed, and for the most part, that's undecided and unknown, so we're not gonna speculate about that. But let's talk about the documentary. And let's talk about the man, DrSebi. We have an alkaline vegan who practiced alkaline vegan. It was an alkaline vegan. That was basically his methodology, his philosophy. And I have an alkaline vegan to my left of me, my brother P. Naka. Who would be better suited to talk about DrSebi and his philosophy. And I'll open up the floor to you, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically it goes by the African biomineral lifestyle. So, you know, it's all about mineral replenishment, keeping the colon flushed, you know, the proper combination of herbs and the right foods. You know, food is either medicine or it's poison. You know, so you know, when you're eating food that is poisonous to the body, it also can't, you know, some of them have what they call addictive properties. Right. So, you know, you're dealing with high foods that's like high fats and saturated fats, high in sodium, high in sugar.
We talking fast food.
I mean, it's fast food is included in that, but you know, it goes so much deeper than just fast food. You know, fast food, you can tell, like fast food, you can tell it's fake food. It's just, that's, you know, if you leave it sitting out, it doesn't get, mold don't want to eat fast food. So, you know, if mold don't want it, then I don't know why people do.
Mold want good food.
Yeah. mold want real food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You leave a McDonald's burger out, it's just going to get harder and harder, you know, until you can break something with it. You know what I mean? It's going to shrink, it's going to get hard. And that's gonna be it. You know what I'm saying?
It's made
for years.
It's made that way.
It's made that's
because they needed to be stayed that long. Even when
all the preservatives that's plumped into it. You know, it ensures that mold does not want any part of it. You know, you know. So, that's just you know the thing with fast food is just part of it, but it goes so much deeper than that.
It's all about. Like we said, everything you consume. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta watch what you consume.
Conventional nutrition will push things on you that is not recommended and deemed as unhealthy in this lifestyle. So the first thing I tell people is, if you're gonna approach this from the standpoint of conventional wisdom, then you're gonna have a lot of disagreements with yourself as to what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because it's truly a different lifestyle. Like, you're looking through a different lens. You know,
it's kind of radical.
It's about I wouldn't even call it radical. I just call it a lifestyle change. It's different, right? So anything different, when people deal with change, you know, most people don't deal with change well.
No, not at all.
Right? Even though change is the only constant that exists on the planet, you know, in the universe, the only thing that stays the same is the fact that change will exist and things will never stay the same. You know what I mean? So that is right. Nothing stays the same. So you know, but you know, getting back into you know the food aspect of it, you know, food, depending on what you're eating, is either going to rob your body of nutrients. It's either going to attack, you know, cellular walls and the mucous membrane in the colon, or it's going to force the health for those things, and you know.
So you wouldn't prescribe, because DrSebi, I know he had different philosophies on what he thought and figured about, say, vitamins.
Yeah, well, have you ever seen a vitamin farm?
No.
Where do they grow vitamins at?
Lab.
Is there? I'm just saying that to get to the point that you cannot grow vitamin A. You cannot grow vitamin K. Where I get vitamin A or vitamin K or vitamin F, whatever letter you want to talk about, vitamin D, you know, we can go to, I'm going to get it from the food that I eat.
Right.
You know, so I'm going to get it from the herbs that I take.
Right.
And I know it's naturally occurring there. When they package it up and put it in a pill, where did you extract that from food? Why did I need it? I just eat the food. How did you get it? All right, so if you didn't get it from the food, then that means you created a version of it in a lab. I can't even say you created it in the lab. you created what you would call a synthesized version of it in a lab. Right. So anything that's synthesized, anything that's not that's not from the original source,
right,
has the potential of having side effects. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So that's what you get, right? So when you see these drugs out here, and it's like Cialis and Levitra, and these are things that the chemical content that's in these drugs were in plants that they researched and found in the Amazon.
Still in plants.
And because they can't really mass produce and profit off of these plants. These plants they grow in naturally wild. Nobody plants them. It just grows. It's nature. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So they're harvested when it's time for harvest, but it's different. So that's what you call a wild harvested plant.
Okay.
Right. So when I get herbs, they're wild harvested. Right. So they're coming from the Amazon.
Natural.
Right. You know what I mean? But see, what they did was because you had I forget, excuse me for not having this information, but you can find this out. Like there was a doctor, I believe, that put out a list of herbs and made it like public domain. And so they couldn't take it. So the medical industry couldn't take it. So what they did was they went in there, they took it back to the lab. They study it and they say, okay, this herb is known for doing this, right? So we're gonna break this down and see what's in there. All right. Oh, this has. All right. So the scientists create a version of it. Right. Now you got Cialis. You know what I'm saying, or so whatever it is, whatever it became.
But they're not real, basically.
Right.
Medicinal purposes.
Right.
To make money and all that.
Right. So those. That's why you get a million and one possible side effects with those things because they're not complete. They're not.
They put additives in it.
Yeah, they cannot make the perfect version of it because the perfect version of it that is already there. Like all you got to do is take the herb. You know what I'm saying? Right. And there ain't no side effects with that. Right. Yeah. No. You're gonna get what you need.
That's not lucrative to their patent.
No.
But listen, they generate a lot of stuff out here. They sit there and they say and duplicate the whatever generic.
Whatever.
Just like they do, just like the Chinese people do the bootleg.
Oh yeah. So they do their own. They do the bootleg.
They do their own version because they sit there and take. Okay, they know what that vitamin is.
Though, because at the end of the day, when you go to the hospital and you say, I'm looking like you said, Cialis, you know what I'm saying, Viagra or whatever. There's a generic version to everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, the generic or that other one. It's not even the foundation.
It's still doing. It's still doing the same thing.
So they say the active ingredient is sildenafil. So I can prescribe you sildenafil, and it's about 75% cheaper.
Yeah.
Right. than what you can get.
Indeed.
Than Viagra or Cialis.
They got to put their price on it to make their money. You know what I'm saying?
Now getting back to the topic of DrSebi.
Okay.
Break down his philosophies and what he does. Make sure it's all good. Make sure my brother good here. They trying to put him out that good information. They trying to get him. They trying to get him. Yeah, we got that sea moss on deck, which is also that bladder rack, which is also very good for you. But we're gonna talk about want to break down DrSebi, his philosophy, talk about his trial because that's proof as to what you're saying. He actually had a trial, New York City's back in the 80s, where he actually cured people of different diseases. Speak on it.
Cure is I mean, to use that exact word, I would say he helped them reverse their disease
treatment.
He was a Honduran. You know what I'm saying?
From Honduras.
From Honduras. Healer. You know what I'm saying? He was a healer.
Right.
He was a healer. So I mean, but he learned from a Mexican herbalist.
I remember that story. I saw it.
Yeah. So
the traditional medicine wasn't working.
Right. He's an African.
Right.
So he was
well, when he came, his story is when he came here. I think he came and became like a steel worker or something like that.
Okay. Right.
And he was healthy when he got here, and then I think he said, I think don't quote the time frame, but it was something like within 6 months he was diagnosed with like asthma, psoriasis, and
heard that.
Was it diabetes, something like that. It was just it was a pre-diabetic, something like that. He was just diagnosed with a bunch of ailments after living a certain amount of time with the American diet and lifestyle. So you here, you eat the food that's here. You know what I'm saying? When he's in Honduras, he eating food, he picking off the tree. When he's here, he's eating what's here, which is processed food. He started living that lifestyle. So it was things that supposedly had no cure. Asthma is treated. You treat it. It's treatment. We maintain it. We don't cure it. Asthma.
Get your pump and just take 2 puffs.
Yeah, that's it. You'll be all right. So just come see us anytime it gets too bad.
Take the mask.
Okay. And let's talk about his trial.
Yeah.
To speak on specifically the trial and all of the people that he killed and how they tried to take him down, the government.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna speak on government taking him down because it's anything in that is all speculation. Obviously there's people out there that have their theories, and there's people that's closer to the situation that might know more than I do. So there's been many different potential stories and theories about what happened when Baba Sebi passed in police custody.
So what I'm saying, he said Baba Sebi.
Yeah, that was just the affectionate. Yeah, it's just like the affectionate name. His family and close friends used to call him.
He's practicing healing, and they say he was doing things that wasn't being done.
Yeah, with the trial, with the trial, he took out a full page ad. Don't quote me on the paper.
New York,
I think it was
Village,
the Post or
Village Voice.
It was another one too. Is that one in the Post or that one in the Times? Something I think it was the Post
and the New York Times.
Yeah, something like that. And he took out a full page ad and said, Usher Research, which was his company, has developed a treatment cure for to cure AIDS, and then he also listed other diseases, leukemia and stuff like herpes, and,
lupus, cancer,
all the shit we deal with in the hub.
Right. So obviously, the powers that be saw that and didn't like it.
Right. And they came crashing down on
he was threatened by the New York DA, whatever, chief prosecutor.
Ultimately arrested.
Said, take it down, or you're gonna get, we're gonna lock you up for a very long time if you don't take this down. And
see,
he didn't. So they took him to trial. The judge told him to bring somebody you treated that said they had HIV, and it's documented they don't have it now, whatever. And the number of people that showed up, I believe, was like in the 70s. Yeah, 77 people showed up.
77.
He was healing people.
That he healed.
This eases in the body that was So it was the case got dismissed. Then he went to federal court the next day and beat that
one.
You know what I'm saying? So and then later he realized he was better off being back home in Honduras for whatever reason.
Right.
But it's got the rationality.
Right. So later on, he went back home. Not too long after that, he went back home, and he was able to start coming back. Many years later. It wasn't until a few years before his passing that he started to come back to the States
to teach,
and he started doing lectures here and stuff like that.
Teaching.
But you could see his lectures all over, YouTube, popping up all over YouTube and stuff. But
and that's what it comes with, why they would go against him, because of the fact of
it's major money.
He's stopping the money that they're doing.
Major money.
All the medication, all these drugs they prescribing us, we don't need it over time, because just like they give you a pill. To say, you take this pill and it just subsides whatever you're going through.
Right.
He's telling you take these herbs, and over time you're going to be good.
Right.
You take these herbs. It's going to take just like you take, but these pills aren't going to make you good.
No.
They're just going to subside you and make you all right for now,
and make you
for you to keep on it, dependent on it.
Yeah,
you know,
the whole thing is about finding the source of the issue, right? Instead of treating the symptom. And a lot of like that's why they say a hospital. They call it a hospital because they're just hospitable. They just treat. They just take care. They tuck your sheets in. They get bring your food. They give you whatever drugs you need to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Until until your body can fight off whatever. Let's make this clear.
Yes, sir.
Your body fights off whatever it is that you need to fight off. Do they give you aids, which they think might help your body get there if you're in the hospital? Yes. They will give you something to help the process along.
Because your antibodies is the one that's responsible for your health.
Right.
That's deep.
Or they'll do something to suppress the symptoms until your body can. If you taking Tylenol is not really fighting your fever, right? You know what I mean? The Tylenol is suppressing your fever, so your body can fight the virus.
And let's talk about real quick the food then. Let's talk about how the food is destroying the black community, the food choices. The diabetes, high blood pressure. Our food choices. But
processed foods,
but just like
a lot of heavy and processed foods. I
want to ask a quick question. Because this is something that has to be asked because
what's that?
I have been involved with the DrSebi movement on a backstage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I always thought that it was people that were irrational in a sense. So looking at you and you look like me, it's like, damn, son.
It's rational.
A lot of people don't think that, you know what I'm saying, that we are together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like seeing you today is like giving me more food for the purpose.
It's not, it's out of the box because it's out of societal norms. Right? But society doesn't dictate to me what's right and what's wrong. Right? I have my own compass of what's right and what's wrong. So I'm gonna start with, and in my practice I'm gonna start it with me. So so I'm gonna practice what I believe is right for me. And then, I will explain explain to people that are interested why it's important to me. So that's how I view it. That's how I view it.
Like, it shouldn't be no different from you being God and you explaining something to the person why you God, and then they get understanding.
Because I take
you can't never look at you. That's why they say never judge a book by its cover.
It's not even about that.
You know what I mean?
It's about knowing better and doing better. If I say I'm the one that knows all. You know what I'm saying? That means I got to teach all. But when I see you talking to me about eating right and being right.
Which is important.
That means that I'm doing wrong.
Because it's proof.
Well,
but this is what they also say is that's why you also got to look into certain things. Even when you see it out there and they run across your path in life. And you see something like we talking about this or you talking about that. Don't just let it go across. If you see something, do a little research on it. Look into it so you can see. Because don't just disregard it and just say, you know what, nah, that ain't me.
So like that's another thing I wanted to touch on too. Is how this affects our community mentally, right?
Yeah, speak on it real quick.
So a lot of people, they've started to acknowledge the amount of mental instability,
mental health
issues, you know what I mean? Within our community. And this is directly linked to the food that we're putting in our bodies. Right? So basically when you're gonna put things in your body that cause your colon to react with inflammation and gets red and inflamed and clogged, right? It causes poisons to be pushed up out the other end back into the bloodstream, and it causes all kinds of imbalances,
disease.
all kinds of
bacteria
problems.
going back in your system.
Yeah, diseases. Yeah, disease is just dis-ease within the body, right? So with the Sebi lifestyle, it basically teaches that there's only one disease, which is mucus. Right?
Speak on it, because I researched that.
Yeah, so you want to avoid mucus forming and mucus causing substances, whatever those things may be. Yeah, you want to eat things that are gentle on the digestive system, and not abrasive to the digestive system. And this is specific things, and sometimes you might look at the list that was approved for eating in the lifestyle and be like, well, what am I gonna eat? But luckily, as the lifestyle has grown, you've gotten you really have like people that are into creating, creating food and different dishes, and it makes it really interesting. So I would just tell people, before you dismiss it, just to just check it out. Yeah, check it out for yourself, because it does. There is a lot that comes with it.
But it's proven, because like I said, from the trial and just from the different people that he worked with, and me myself, I'm just beginning to get into the DrSebi lifestyle, and got some roots and powder and everything. We got something on the table right here. We got some sea moss that you brought here.
It's sea moss and bladderwrack. It's a sea moss and bladderwrack shake.
And please explain that to the people out there what that is.
All right, so with sea moss is a sea vegetable pretty much, and sea vegetables have they're the most nutrient dense foods on the planet, right? So anything that grows near the sea is going to have the most nutrients. Just going to be packed with nutrients, right? So this is sea moss and bladderwrack. They're both sea vegetables. I also have hemp seeds in here. I have spring water in here, and we don't do purified water. We only do spring water. I have dates and agave syrup in here. I have coconut oil, and I have some clove. Now the coconut oil is brain food. It's healthy fats.
Dark chocolate.
The clove is gonna kill any parasite eggs that may be lodged in your intestines. And if you eat meat, any kind of meat, I'm sorry to tell you, there's a 95% chance. I'm not gonna put a number on it, but there's a big chance that you're gonna have parasites, attached to your intestinal wall, draining you of nutrients, creating cravings for meat, blood, and starch and sugar. So, basically, these things they attach to what's called your abdominal brain. Right, which is a cluster of nerves in the stomach, in the intestinal area, and they send signals to your brain and tell you, I'm hungry, send me some blood, send me some meat, I'm hungry, send me some I need some starch. They know what you're thinking, because they're attached to your thoughts, right? So they're attached to that cluster of nerves that is a brain in your abdominal area, right? So you might say, okay, I got them. I'm gonna stop eating meat. You know what I'm saying? I want to get healthy. I'm gonna stop eating meat. Okay, send us some bread. Why? Because bread turns right to sugar in the bloodstream, and they survive off of sugar, blood, and starch, right?
So it's the same thing,
right? So you can't starve them out unless you give up processed sugars, unless you give up blood, and unless you give up the starchy foods. So when you're talking about starch contains cyanide. That is something that will, over time, through small doses of cyanide in a lot of the foods that we actually eat, will affect the brain and the thought process. You know what I mean? So it'll actually, it'll cause, mental imbalances. And that's what I'm saying. So it's just one of those things, like almonds. People like, well, almonds are healthy, right? I'm like, well, no, because they grow in cyanide, right? So even when they tell you it's a raw almond, they have to heat up almond to a certain degree to try to take off the excess cyanide that's on there, right? If they actually gave it to you raw, just like cashews, if they gave you cashews raw, if they didn't take cashews and harvest them properly,
right?
It could kill somebody because they growing cyanide.
I hear this.
So wait a minute, the almonds or the cashews ain't no good.
No, they growing cyanide.
What about the raisins?
Only seeded raisins. So if you can't find a seeded raisin, you just out of luck, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Manuka raisins is one. Yeah, Manuka, and there's another one.
Bless
everybody. Before we go, we gonna take a cup of the sea moss right here. Yeah. I'm gonna have my man P Knocker give me a whole bunch of the information, and we gonna put a list up on the joint of some stuff that you can get, some stuff you can buy. Let's get it. We gonna get the sea moss. See, this is healthy-ish. We celebrating and we toasting to some healthy-ish right here. Some sea moss.
R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
Before we go,
in memory, DrSebi.
You already know what I mean.
Documentary coming soon.
Gotta
Shout
keep that going.
Cannon, man.
Gotta keep it going.
Yo, but I want to ask a question real quick. He knocked real quick too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's a brother that looks like us. But how did you get into the vegan life?
I was always the different nigga. Like,
yep.
I was always a nigga that, like, I used to be in school, you know what I'm saying, and my people used to pull out the cheese doodles. I used to be like, man, you don't know that yellow 5 is in there, son? Like, why? I was always that kind of dude that's the label reading dude, like, yo, you don't even know what that is? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was always interested in that kind of thing, and believe me, I researched and studied Sebi for years. Before I actually started transitioning, you know what I mean?
Could you speak on the replenishment of minerals real quick? Because I'm really impressed by that too.
Right. So mineral replenishment is all mineral replenishment is all the body needs. You know what I mean? So that's what the lifestyle entails. It's like you deplete minerals throughout daily processes of just moving, and you know what I mean. Just doing whatever that you do throughout the course of the day, you're depleting minerals. Sometimes the food that we eat depletes us of minerals, right? But this lifestyle is all about replenishing the minerals. So when they tell you, you need protein, all right, the food that I eat, if I want protein, 10 chickpeas have the same amount of protein as 1 egg. If I want to think about protein, but I'm not really thinking about protein, I'm just thinking about replenishing the the iron and the folic acid and all of the different minerals. That actually give you energy. So we're carbon-based beings, right? And we breathe in oxygen. And the food that we eat, we want them to have a high pH level, because that's what tells you what's alkaline and what's not, right?
0
so
to
when it has a high pH, when it's a high pH level, pH stands for potential hydrogen. So when you mix carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen, what you get is an electric spark, and that's why they call it electric food, right? Because it actually sparks your system with electricity. It actually gives you energy, right? When you eat foods that are a high pH level, excuse me, right? So that actually benefits the body. You know what I mean? It actually gives you energy rather than give you the itis. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because the food that when you eating conventional food, it's depleting and it's draining you of nutrients. Right? Yeah. So it's draining the nutrients away. So then you like, now you feeling tired. When I eat an all alkaline meal, I'm up and I'm ready to move. You know what I'm saying? You get that spark. When you got key lime and you put that in some water and you instantly alkalize that water, you getting that electric. That's an electric charge, brother. You know what I'm saying? Key lime can light a light bulb.
So put the key lime. You told me that too.
Key lime,
put the key lime with the water.
Right. Throw that in the water, let it sit there overnight, boom. You instantly alkalize your water, whatever it is, But like I said,
as I tell life, I always put the lemon in my water.
See, that's cool, but I don't do lemon. I don't do lemon, and I don't do lime unless I'll settle. Really, I don't, but I'll settle for limes with seeds, right?
Okay.
But key limes is the original lime. And all of the others are just hybrids of key lime, and that's why it's recommended not to do any of the other ones, because lemon is a hybrid of lime, which is a hybrid of key lime.
That's why I
you know
so
right. So we don't do hybrids.
So don't do lifestyle. Okay, so all right. So I'm starting for the lime.
See the science. The science of key lime. Yeah, they're small. They look like they're smaller. So the difference between one food and the next.
Right.
It might not be like, there's always a substitute for something, right? So, if I don't do sweet potato, but I'll do butternut squash. You know what I'm saying? So I can make my butternut squash, any kind of way. I can make home fries out. I know how to, you got that's another thing you got to know. Yeah.
Come out and it's healthy and nutritious.
Yeah, and it's healthy and nutritious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We gonna get some recipes too from we gonna get some recipes too, because it's important for the people, for the young people and the youth for out there, for them to hear that. We got the Seymours. We gonna pass it around. I done took a couple of sips.
I'm on the way back.
Yeah, this was a lot for me. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna sip some of this.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Matter of fact, this is Seymour's, right?
Yeah, Seymour's and Bladderwrack. Yeah,
I'm gonna mix this with a drink. You know what I'm saying?
You cannot drink Seymour's while you drink.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. It's all good. It's all good. But the see, I drank some. It's good.
Yeah.
Tell them about the different foods that you can eat and on YouTube, the different chefs. If you want to follow an alkaline vegan lifestyle, the different chefs and other people who are into it.
One of the first YouTube pages that taught me that I could actually do this lifestyle and be comfortable, like I had enough to eat, was Ty's Conscious Kitchen. So
I've been there.
His page was dope. I tried a couple of his things and that was like, all right, I could do a couple of days a week. You know what I'm saying? Just making this. And then Blended the Bowl was another one. I know about
Blended Bowl.
Right, so then I started watching some of that, and I was like, oh, I got a few more, you know what I mean? And then I went to the Healthy Vegan, and I was like, there's a few more in the Healthy Vegan, and all of a sudden it was like, I could do this. I don't need that. You know what I mean? I don't even need that.
You gotta explain what vegan means, though, because a lot of people don't know what vegan is.
Well, vegan, see, and I don't want people to get confused, because like this lifestyle is not about being vegan. We are vegan because by definition, we don't eat
flesh.
Eat animals. Yeah, we don't eat animals, or we don't eat anything derived from animals. So no honey, no milk. You know what I'm saying? No eggs.
No honey.
No, bees make honey. That's not vegan. Yeah.
Wow.
It also spikes your sugar levels like crazy. It's high glycemic. That's why we use agave syrup.
And that's
dates.
weird, because you would think about a bee honey would be good because a bee go and suck up from somewhere and they lay.
But a bee makes honey for bees. And we're not bees. We're humans. We're the only animal that tries to eat another animal's food, right? So we're the only animal that's gonna go to a cow and drink a cow's milk.
So there's nothing in bees.
You know what I'm saying? You never see a goat go to a cow and say, "Let me get some milk."
Right. We the only species.
You're not gonna see. You ain't gonna see no ant. You know what I'm saying? Well, you might see an ant try to get after a bee's honey. You know what I mean? But they would never go into a bee's nest to try to get it. You know what I mean? So we're the only ones that's going to harvest, something that's not made for. It wasn't made for us.
And most of this stuff in the food system that they got. But you see, the problem is with it though, that it's the options.
Yeah,
it's the options.
It's about the options.
Our food options in the hood. We got liquor store, corner store, might have a McDonald's, might have something else in there.
But you know what else, brother? And this is why I try to explain to people. There's no excuse when you look at the first. Got you. The first thing that you see when you walk into a grocery store, most grocery stores, is the produce section. Right. And what we do is we walk straight past the produce section and go to all the processed food.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you're right.
most of your diet should consist of things in the produce section.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you change your outlook that way, like in the morning, you should be drinking water. Your breakfast should be water and fruit. Why? Because those two things are movers, and everything that you want. First thing you want to do is flush your system, right, and get it ready for the day, right? So you want to drink water and you want to eat some fruit, and hopefully you want to use the bathroom, right? You want to move about,
get it out,
right. In the morning, that's what we should be doing, right? And then for lunch, we want to do like healthy like nuts. And you know what I'm saying, walnuts, Brazil nuts, shakes.
But the almonds and the cashews is no good.
Yeah, that's like
almonds and cashews no good. Walnuts, Brazil nuts. I do a lot of cooking with Brazil nuts.
To get that right. Okay.
Yeah, I make ricotta cheese out of Brazil nuts.
Wow.
I make like a ziti. I'll make like a baked ziti. I make the mock meat with chickpeas and mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? And then I make the ricotta cheese out of Brazil nuts.
What about the cauliflower?
Cauliflower is a hybrid of broccoli, which is a hybrid of wild cabbage. So cauliflower is like broccoli without any nutrients, right? So at least broccoli has some nutrients, but it's very dangerous for your system, right? But
damn, you gotta really think about it.
I'm saying because this is what I deal with. That's
but I'm just saying when you think about the food, and we gonna close the show out on this. When you think about the food and you think about your food choices in your neighborhood, like you said, it's no excuse when you walk down the produce aisle. You can pick out the right foods. Yeah. And you can research. They got Google.
And you can make some really good, nutritious filling meals.
Right. Because you can go to YouTube, you can go to Instagram, like he said, for the many pages. Because at the end of the day, in the black community, bottom line is we got to eat better. And not only do we have to eat better as adults, we got to show the young kids. Because like I said, a lot of the times, I don't just see the adults going, I see the young kids getting the same. And I'm talking about on Sundays.
Yeah, and we need to understand why we need to eat better, because just knowing we need to eat better doesn't do anything. It's like, I know I'm supposed to go to school, but I don't want to wake up in the morning. Somebody gonna wake me up, my mother, my father, somebody gonna say, get up out of bed and go to school. You know what I'm saying? So they need to understand why.
Right, of course.
They should be, because it doesn't just lead to physical ailments, which it does. It leads to mental ailments as well. Right. And if you want to be full focus, I've never been on as much of a natural high as when I was on a 21-day fast. I've never been so acute, like in everything around me, aware and focused and sharp, as when I was on a 21-day fast. Wow. So my last week of that 3-week fast, I was at my sharpest, right? I was like, I was up doing push-ups, to burn off some energy, because I was up at night and I was jumping up in the morning and I was like aware, like I felt,
best time of your life.
Like I felt I felt clarity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you cleansing the mind and cleansing the body, that's what happens. Right. You know what I mean? It's all about, about health is wealth. That's what it's about, man.
And at the end of the day, I hope we informed you with some serious information. Hit up my man P Naka. P Naka 99.
Naka 99. KNOCKA 99. You know
on Instagram. Hit him up, man. He got hit him up with questions. He got information for you. You know what I'm saying? Can help you out seriously. This is on the real deal. Like I said, I hope this was informative for you. I hope you got something out of this. And at the end of the day, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. God bless his beautiful wife, Lauren London, the beautiful kids, beautiful mother, who gave such a crazy eulogy and just a crazy message, you know what I'm saying? Message of strength, serenity, peace, you know what I'm saying? Togetherness, and hopefully we all got that.
Yeah, let's hope that his death wasn't in vain, and that people carry on.
Not at all.
All of the practices.
Shout out. He
was trying to implement.
No question. Shout out to the West Coast, man. And signing off, I just like to say, thank you for tuning in. My man Darky Dark, Session TV.
Word up. You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
Man. It's hot as, it's hot as hell up in the rec room, but we making it work.
We making it hotter. You already know. My brother P in the building. Say what up, best style finest one. What up?
the juice.
Yeah.
Seymour's good.
Seymour's, yeah, the Seymour's. We got the cup of Seymour's. My man, Life, or what it do? Session TV. Talk to him, God.
Yeah, man.
Peace,
I'm not
God.
gonna make those seat meals while I'm drinking. I'm gonna hold that. Dissolve that.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
And we got my man Etymologic Beats on the boards. We got my dude Big L in the building. P Knocker. You got anything coming up? Anything new going on? Let them know.
I'm working on a lot of things, man, but you know, I nothing that I can really speak on right now.
Okay,
but
okay.
I'm waiting on a couple of submissions, some to come back from a couple submissions that I made recently.
Okay, he do music, he do the movie thing. Yeah, we got some movie shit coming up. For the Love of Music, the movie by Miss Ty Powell, homegirl Ty. What's up, Ty? Shout out to Ty.
What up,
NYMI Mick. You know the whole thing. Typo Entertainment. You know what I mean? The whole shout out to the whole team. Yeah, that's the book right there. You gotta put it up. Yeah, show them what it is. That's the
movie.
That's the book right there.
Yes,
the movie starring Andrea Rachel Parker and my guy Mick. You know what I mean? NYMI, P Knocker in the joint.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you already know what it is, man. That's on 24/7 Films TV, man. So signing off live from the Rec Room Studios. We out of here. Sip the juice, MAG.
Yo, don't forget, man. Don't forget. Like, subscribe, share, man. The Session TV on YouTube, man.
Share, we out of here.
Yes, we do, man.
Let's get it.
Sip the juice.
100.
Get healthy, y'all.
Get healthy, word. Health is wealth.
Sip the juice.